What is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? Today I'm bringing you my ranking from the last 20 NBA drafts, and we are going to be ranking the last 20 number 1 overall picks from 20 to 1. So this is kind of hard for a couple reasons, because some of these players have only played 1 or 2 years, and Zion has even completed more than 20 games in his career, and there's other players that were drafted 20 years ago, and it's really hard to compare the two. So I tried my best, because I want to see how they acted as a number 1 pick. Did they live up to the hype, or did they not as much? If they ended up making an all-star game, an all-NBA team, and won a finals championship, they would be up a little bit higher on this list. And if they didn't get any of that, they would be at the lower part of this list. So if a player is out of the league or retired, they aren't going to be moving up anymore on this list, and they're going to be where they are when I make the ranking. But if the player is still in the league, they still have a chance to move up on the list or even down on the list as they finish out their career. So keep that in mind as well. If you guys get 1,000 likes on this video, it would really mean a lot to me. And I think my next video might be me ranking the last 20 NBA draft classes. So be on the lookout for that. So without further ado, let's get into this. Coming in at number 20 is Anthony Bennett from the 2013 draft class. Anthony Bennett only played 4 years in the NBA, and he played on 4 different teams in those 4 years. He was on Cleveland his rookie year. He was a huge disappointment, then was in the Kevin Love Andrew Wiggins trade a year later, then ended up being in Toronto for his age 22 season, and then his age 23 season was the last time he played in an NBA game for the Brooklyn Nets. Throughout his 151 game NBA career, he averaged about 4.5 points a game, 3 rebounds a game, and shot 39% from the field. He is the biggest draft bust, maybe in NBA history, and definitely the biggest number 1 overall pick bust of the last 20 years. Coming in at number 19 is Greg Oden from the 2007 draft class. So we just talked about how Anthony Bennett only played in 4 seasons in his NBA career. Greg Oden actually played in 1 less season than that. He played in 3 seasons. In his 2007-8 rookie year, he did not play due to a knee injury. In his sophomore year, he averaged around 9 points and 7 rebounds and did shoot 56% from the field for the Blazers in 61 games. His next year wasn't too bad either, but he only played 21 games in the season due to a knee injury. He averaged 11 points and 8.5 rebounds while also topping out at 2.5 blocks a game. And then for the next 4 years, he was out of the league, mainly due to injuries. And then in 2013-14, he did come back for 1 year at his age 26 season for the Miami Heat, only played in 23 games, and we have not seen from him since. I think he's currently has a role in Ohio State for their basketball team, but Greg Oden, we know the pick that went after him. He's looking like he is the second biggest bust in the last 20 years. Coming in at number 18, Markelle Fultz from the 2017 draft class. So remember when I mentioned before how if a player is still playing in the NBA, they could definitely rise up on this list, and Markelle Fultz is a great representation of that. He's coming in at 18 now, but in 5 years from now, I could definitely see him being top 16. He only played 14 games as a rookie for the Sixers due to his shoulder injury, and then his next year he played 19 games, and then he was traded in the middle of that season for a protected first-round pick and Jonathan Simmons. He's averaged about 10 points and 4.5 assists over his NBA career, and he has played 97 games in his first 3 seasons of his career. We have seen a lot of improvement from him this year, and I could definitely see him rising up on this ranking in a couple years. Coming in at number 17 is Kwame Brown from the 2001 draft class. Kwame Brown ended up playing 11 seasons in his NBA career. He's also been traded 3 times in his NBA career and has signed 4 times as a free agent. In his 11 years, he played on 7 different teams. He only had 1 season where he averaged double-digit points, and he is known as a big bust from the 2001 draft class. So we can pretty much say that Kwame Brown, Greg Oden, and Anthony Bennett have been busts, mainly due to injury for Greg Oden, but pretty much skill for Kwame Brown and Anthony Bennett. Markelle Fultz was due to injury, but we can kind of get into the players that have been pretty solid so far to start their number 1 pick campaigns or have ended their careers as a strong or an okay number 1 pick. So coming in at number 16 is DeAndre Eden from the 2018 draft class. Eden has played 2 seasons in his NBA career. He has been suspended once, but he has averaged 17 points and 11 rebounds over his first 101 games played. He's only 21 years old, and he's going to probably still get better in the NBA. He definitely improved as a defender in his sophomore year. In his rookie year, he did average 16 points a game, which is as high as any other of the previous names mentioned throughout their career in a single season, and DeAndre Eden is coming in at number 16. Coming in at number 15 is Zion Williamson from the 2019 draft class. If we did this ranking a year later, he would definitely be higher than a couple of these names mentioned that are going to be after him. The reason I have him as low as 15, it's because he's only played 19 games in his NBA career, but he has set some rookie records already. In his first month played, he was NBA Rookie of the Month. He averaged about 23.5 points and 7 rebounds a night in 29 minutes in those 19 games. His per 36 would have been pretty crazy. He would have averaged 20.5 points, 8 rebounds, and shot 46 from 3 on a small sample size from 3. His defense hasn't looked good so far, but nonetheless, Zion Williamson is going to be one of the best players in the NBA one day, and I'm going to have him at number 15 on this list. Coming in at number 14 is Andrew Wiggins from the 2014 draft class. Like the rest of these players, Andrew Wiggins has not won an NBA championship or has not gone to an All-Star game or been on an All-NBA team. Throughout Wiggins' 6-year career, he has never posted an NBA WAR over 1. He's averaged about 20 points per game over his 6-year career and has shot 33% on 3 and 44% from the field. Coming in at number 13 is the 2006 number 1 overall pick, and that is Andrea Bargnani. Bargnani played 9 years in the NBA. He averaged about 14 points, 4.5 rebounds, and shot 35% on 3 attempts a night in those 9 years. He was 15th in points per game in 2010 with 21.5 a night. Throughout his first 6 years in the NBA, he did average about 15.5 points, 5 rebounds, and shot 36% from 3. Maybe if Bargnani played more in today's style, he could have been a lot better of a number 1 pick he ended up being. Coming in at number 12 is the 2000 number 1 overall pick, and that is Kenyon Martin. We still have yet to have an NBA player on this list that has won an NBA Finals. The reason why I have Kenyon Martin so high up is because he did end up playing 14 years in the NBA and did average 12 points a night and 7 rebounds as well. He also averaged over a block and steal per game in his 14-year career. He was a 2004 All-Star and was also a 2004 Player of the Week in February and a February 2004 Player of the Month. And he's coming in at number 12 on this list. Coming in at number 11 is Andrew Bogut, who was the 2005 number 1 overall pick. And Bogut is the first player on this list that has won an NBA Finals. He was on the Golden State Warriors from 2012 to 2016, and he won the 2015 NBA Finals with the Warriors. Over his 13-year career, Bogut did average about 9.5 points a night and 9 rebounds as well. He averaged a block and a half a game and did shoot 53% from the field. He was All-NBA third team in 2010 and All-Defensive second team in 2015. He was number 1 in defensive box plus minus in 2015. So this is where it got really tough, trying to figure out the top 10 and who belonged in the top 10. And coming in at number 10 is the 2015 number 1 overall pick, KarlAnthony Towns. Towns has played 5 years in the NBA so far and has only made the playoffs once, and it was as an 8 seed. He's averaged 22.7 points in those 5 years, 12 rebounds a night, 53% from the field, and 39% from 3. He was All-NBA third team in 2018 and took home the 2016 Rookie of the Year award. He was an All-Star in 2018 and 2019, and for the last 3 seasons, he has been top 10 in the NBA in win shares. Coming in at number 9 is the 2016 number 1 overall pick, Ben Simmons. Simmons, like a couple of these other guys, did not play in his rookie year due to injury. So he has played 3 years so far in his career and has averaged over 16 points per game, 8 assists a night, and over 8 rebounds a night. He's averaged 1.7 steals a night as well, and shooting 56% from the field. He was the 2018 Rookie of the Year, and he's been a 2-time All-Star so far, and he has been top 20 in defensive win shares in his first 3 years. Coming in at number 8 is John Wall from the 2010 draft class. John Wall has played 8 years in the NBA so far, averaging around 19 points, 9 assists, and 4 rebounds a night. He shot on average 43% from the field, 32% from 3, and 78% from the line. He was an All-Star from the years 2014 to 2018. He's a 2011 All-Rookie first team, a 2015 All-Defensive second team, and a 2017 All-NBA third team member. From the years 2013 to 2017, he was top 20 in the NBA each year in NBA WAR, and he's also 99th all-time in NBA PER. Coming in at number 7 is the 2008 first overall pick, and that is Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose has played 11 years so far in the NBA and has averaged around 19 points a night, 5.5 assists, and 3.5 rebounds. He has shot 45% from the field, 30% from 3, and 82% from the line. He was the 2011 NBA MVP, where he averaged 25 points a game, 7.7 assists a night, and shot 33% from 3 on about 5 attempts a night. He was also the youngest NBA MVP ever at that time. He's a 3-time NBA All-Star. He was 2011 All-NBA First Team, and he's been the first player that we have mentioned so far that has won an MVP award. Coming in at number 6 is Yao Ming. Yao Ming only played 7 years in the NBA and had to retire at 30 due to a foot injury. Over his 7-year career, he did average 19 points, 9 rebounds, and shot 52% from the field and averaging around 2 blocks a night. He has been All-NBA Third Team 3 times and All-NBA second team twice. He is the 24th NBA best PER, and that is at a 23. And he has the highest Hall of Fame probability on Basketball Reference out of anybody we have mentioned so far at a 52%. And coming in at number 5 is Blake Griffin from the 2009 draft class. Blake Griffin has played 9 years so far in the NBA and has averaged around 22 points a night, 9 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. He has shot 49% from the field and 33% from 3. He has had 8 seasons where he has averaged over 20 points a night. He was the 2011 Rookie of the Year. He is a 6-time All-Star. He has been on All-NBA second team 3 times and All-NBA third team twice. He has been top 10 in MVP voting 3 times, and he tops Yao Ming's Hall of Fame probability, and he is at a 54%. Coming in at number 4 is Dwight Howard from the 2004 draft class. Dwight Howard has played 15 years in the NBA and has averaged over 16 points a night and 12 rebounds a night. He's at 1.9 blocks a game for his career and has shot 58% from the field. He carried the Magic to the 2009 NBA Finals. He's a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year award winner. He's an 8-time All-Star. He's a 4-time All-Defensive First Team and a 1-time All-Defensive Second Team member. He's a 5-time All-NBA First Team member. He's been on All-NBA Second Team once and All-NBA Third Team twice. He's also currently 37th all-time in win shares with over 133. Coming in at number 3 is Anthony Davis. The reason I have AD over Dwight Howard is because AD still has a chance to win an NBA championship. So does Dwight Howard. They could win it at the same year, but I think AD's career trajectory could end up being better than Dwight Howard's pretty quickly. AD in his first 7 years has averaged 24 points a night and 10.5 rebounds a game, while also averaging over 2 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks a night. He has shot 51% from the field and 31% from 3. He's a 7-time All-Star. He was the 2017 All-Star Game MVP. He has been on All-NBA First Team 3 times, All-NBA Defensive Team once, and All-NBA Defensive Team twice. He's been top 10 in MVP voting 3 times in his career, and he's already 64th all-time in NBA career WAR. And the top 2. So number 2, this was a debate to get him up to 2, but he is a 1-time NBA champion, and that is Kyrie Irving from the 2011 draft class. Kyrie has played in 9 NBA seasons, and he has averaged over 22 points per game, while shooting 46% from the field and 39% from 3, while also shooting 87% from the line. He hit one of the biggest shots in NBA history in Game 7 of the 2016 NBA Finals, which was against arguably the greatest NBA team of all time, the 2016 Warriors. He's been All-NBA third team once, All-NBA second team twice. He's a 6-time NBA All-Star. And number 1, as you can guess it, he is by far the best number 1 overall pick in the last 20 years, and that is LeBron James from the 2003 draft class. He's a 3-time NBA champion and has been to 9 NBA Finals alone. In his 17 years in the NBA, he has averaged over 27 points per game, 7 assists, and 7 rebounds a night. He's a career 50% from the field shooter, 34% from 3. He has won the NBA's Most Valuable Player award 4 times. He has won the All-Star Game MVP award 3 times. And he has been Finals MVP 3 times. He has been on All-NBA First Team 12 times. He has been on All-Defensive First Team 5 times. And he is arguably the greatest player of all time. So that is going to be my list of the top 20 number 1 overall picks in ranking from the last 20 years. Let me know what you agree with or disagree with in the comment section below. And don't forget to drop a like on the video if you guys did enjoy. That is going to be for me though. Thank you all for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.